It has been 30 days since I started this challenge of breaking 80 left-handed in 1 year, otherwise donating £1,000 to charity. Let's see how I've got on. Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's Simon down here at Burford Golf Club, and today I'm just going to go through the bag, hit a few shots, give you my thoughts and updates of what's worked, what's not worked, and what I've got to work on in the future. But we're 1 month down, 11 months to go from today, and we're seeing some kind of progress, which is great. Thank you for all the support in the series and the videos that you might have watched in terms of the clubs that I've got, how I've got to where I am now in the last 30 days, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what I found out and worked on today, going through the bag from wedge up to driver, and yeah, there's some good stuff, there's also some bad stuff, and a massive fail towards the end. Let's do it.
So here we go. Through the bag. Guys, thank you for all the support on this series so far. I'm very much enjoying it, and I'm actually starting to play some golf out on the golf course, which is obviously revolutionary for any golf pro or golf coach. Obviously practicing off grass, big things. Beginners, practice off grass. I know it's not easy, but even if you're out on the golf course, drop another couple of balls at wedge ranges and practice them, because it's going to make you a much better golfer. If you can hit a decent wedge shot from 40-50 yards, unlike myself as you're seeing, you're going to be a good golfer. If you can't nip a ball with a wedge and have a nice high straight ball flight towards the flag, how do you expect to do it when you're swinging the club at 100 miles an hour? It just doesn't make sense. So I'm always practicing my wedge game at the start of the session. It's one of the hardest things to do because you're not giving your full weight transfer, you can't clear your hips easily enough, it's very clunky, but it's one of the biggest things that I neglected when I started the game. Therefore we're doing it now, and we're doing it properly, and I'm starting to get there. I'm starting to hit some good shots with the wedges, but obviously, as you'll see throughout this entire session, I've also got a lot of bad shots. Now I'm on to the 9-iron here, and I'm actually really impressed. This is some of the best striking I've had with an iron off grass to date. Unfortunately, it does lull you into a false sense of security as well, as you'll see as we go through the bag as well. Things to note: club path is one thing I've worked on heavily, just making sure I'm not coming over the top and trying to get that club to come more on the inside. You'll see I've got my alignment stick on the ground, aiming massively left of target, shoulders, knees, hips, all aiming left of target, and I'm trying to hit these hooks back into the flag. Again, it's just to hopefully build a subconscious swing in the future that will just be a lot more neutral, and I'm not coming massively over the top and starting my swing with the shoulders. I'm very much a feel kind of player, so therefore if I can give my body the feeling, I'm happy. As you can see there, club's definitely still coming over the top slightly above hands, but I'm happy with the fade. But that's why I'm exaggerating it with the club path. That's why I'm trying to hit hooks into shots at the moment. Now with this face on, again turning back into that hip, which is great, massive flip. You can watch that right hand turn over massively. Now if you're someone that leaks the ball to the right, I should say, because obviously I'm doing this opposite, but obviously I'm hitting massive pushes at the moment because that club face is so open. It gets heavily exaggerated with the longer clubs in the bag. You're having to do so much work with your hands to close that club face on the way down. It just causes you an array of errors. You're going to hit the ground first, you're going to back out of it. Not only that, your club face is going to be 20 degrees open at target before the ball and close 20 degrees close after the target. So some days your timing is going to be on, but other days it's going to be all over the place and you've got nothing to commit. You can watch this club come back at the moment. It's just too open for how much I get my hands ahead of the golf ball. So because I'm striking it nicely, sometimes I somehow marry that club face up and I release it enough. But again, as you watch this face on swing, you'll see how much that right hand has to really turn over just to get that club face square, and that just causes, well, for me as a golfer, a world of problems. And you'll see that especially with the driver now. But overall, for 30 days, I'm happy. We're definitely better. The good shots are great, the bad shots are horrendous, and obviously that is, you're only as good as your bad shot. Now, you might have seen this driver that obviously I built the other day. and this flipping of the hands over is basically the cause of this. Now I tried a half shot because again using this chipping action like I showed you at the start to try and hit up on the golf ball, but again hands were way too ahead. I was obviously sliding into the ball, and if you keep seeing this on the top of your driver, that's a nice sky mark for you. You're too steep into the ball. A lot of people think that they're hitting up on the ball too much. It's actually the opposite way around. You're actually too steep into the golf ball. So get more weight on your back foot, feel more behind it. But that flipping of the club that I've got is probably the main route. I'm trying to turn over my hands so much with the driver at the moment. It's ridiculous. Everything's going to the right, then left, then right, then left. The chances of me hitting a straight one's a 1 in 100. So getting that club face more at the target impact, something I've got to work on. And again, trying to feel like my hands, basically the club's got to be 2 degrees open to target before impact and 2 degrees closed to target after impact, which gives me a nice dispersion. At the moment, we're about 40 degrees open and 40 degrees closed, which just causes just a ridiculous array of problems. But weight transfer, swing speed, some kind of level of strike is definitely getting there. So for 30-day progress, I'm quite happy.
So there you go, guys. There's my 30-day update at the moment. We're obviously going to get out on the golf course. I need to obviously get the driver a lot more consistent. So I think I'm going to focus on that a bit now over the next 2 weeks to give myself a 200+ yard shot. Because once we've done that, breaking 100 to 90 should be relatively self-explanatory. Obviously, got to tighten up the irons and the wedges and the putting, etc., etc. But just with general course management and having that dispersion off the tee, that's basically all you need for break 100, break 90. And the break getting down to 190 is going to be relatively quick. I imagine I should be able to do that in the next month or two. Breaking 80 is a whole different game. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching. As always, leave this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Catch you guys later.